Okay, here's my rain barrel project. Got this a few weeks ago. Just left it in the side yard here for a few weeks, to my neighbor's chagrin, I'm sure. So I've started work on this. The first thing I did was to lay down 2 rows of 2x6s. The ground is not quite level, so I had to use two different planks over here. It's a little bit higher over there, so just one over there. And as you can see, it's fairly level on this side. Now let me just walk over to the other side. So this goes all across the front. You can see some white stuff there. That's some soap that used to be there, so I still need to clean it out. And on this side, it's very level. So the adapter I have here, unfortunately this one I couldn't find a PVC perfect PVC adapter yet, so I'm just using this rubber piece with a 2-inch reducing to a 1.5, which then goes into a garden hose adapter. Same thing on this side. This side here, I got lucky, was able to find a 2-inch that screws right onto it. So yeah, I got lucky on that one. But the idea is, after I'm done, these 3 rain barrels, they're actually IBC Totes that are 1,000 liters, so 300 gallons, around 300 gallons each, and or 275, 300, something like that, 1,000 liters. I would put an enclosure, a nice wooden enclosure around it, so that it wouldn't look so ugly on the outside of my yard here. Okay, so these are caps to the IBC Totes. And so what we're going to do today is to see if these 2-inch threaded adapters will fit on top here like this, so that we can attach a 2-inch PVC or ABS pipe on top of the rain barrels. So these red caps come with sort of a upper cap, and then there's an inner threaded piece, and it's very hard to remove. So we're gonna use pliers. Same here. So these are like this. There's the other one. The other cap has actually a bigger. How should I put it? The teeth are bigger, but hopefully, so these may be a little bit different. So we'll see if it actually fits perfectly or not. So yes, we're attempting to open up the inner piece of this top cap here, and it's not that easy. You know, I tried. Oh, I guess you gotta hold tight, and then because whatever it was holding must have baked in there a little bit on the threads. So this thing just comes off like this, right? And hopefully the cap, the adapter here will just simply, this is a 2-inch adapter that goes in perfectly, and the 2-inch PVC will just fit in here on top. So let's try. And at the bottom of the of that smaller cap, these things come off, so we don't need those. Let's keep them for something else, maybe some other purpose. So let's try with this cap now. The trick is to hold this piece here as tight as possible and just try and turn. And so it's not that easy. Not that easy. What I did also was to bang it a bit. Just also take apart the inside pieces. Not sure if that will help, but we'll see. So yeah, it's not that easy. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay, I thought I got it. Let's try it again. Oh, I'm kind of breaking the teeth before it will even come off. Just bang it a little bit. Let's try again. Okay, here we go. So, just needed a bit of, I'm not sure if the banging worked, but more strength definitely helped. Okay, so this one again just fits on top. Perfect. That's a perfect fit. Okay. I've just hooked up the top ABS and PVC pieces. So these are the 2 inches that I've shown being connected to the top of the IBC Totes. Okay, so there's a T, 2-inch T, a 90-degree over there, and what will happen is, let's go over to this side here, is I will drill a hole, and that's where the water will come from. So from the roof, the downspout will go into some 3-inch ABS, which then will be filtered and then eventually make it here. I didn't want to make this a permanent fixture or a permanent structure, so what I had to do was to attach this side, this structure here, to the rain barrels themselves, and this is what I ended up doing, putting a notch on the bottom, and there was put a couple pocket holes here, and then secured this piece to the side, and it feels fairly sturdy because the rain barrels are not gonna move. Rain barrels not moving, and then they're empty, and when they're full they'll even be more sturdy. I mean, this enclosure is just to make it look nicer, because and on this side I have the same thing, and you can see the structure is quite sturdy. So the front will be the similar thing, and then on the what will happen is on the cover will have something that goes right on top and hooks onto the top piece and the bottom piece here, and then so that way I can remove it anytime. I can remove the covers anytime to service the rain barrels. And at the bottom here I left room for a different opening for the nozzles or outlets or whatever you want to call them. And over here I haven't drilled the hole to the through the fence yet, but this will go through the fence into the back. And let me just go to the back and see what my plan is here. There's my downspout going down, and there's a connection between the two downspout sections, goes all the way down to the bottom like this. So I'm going to take the first section off and put 3-inch PVC pipe right there connecting to the top so the water will go into the 3-inch. 3-inch will go all the way to the bottom. We'll have an out sort of a cap at the bottom, and then I will probably do it on the left side, one more, I guess 2 more, so 3-inch ABS sections for the filter. And so in the middle section somewhere there'll be a 2-inch going all the way across this pergola right here, across all this foliage, all the way across to the fence here. And the ABS that where the hole is gonna be will be around, I think, let me just see, I can probably see it. It's right over, I believe it's this section. Either it's one of these two parts. I might do the filter over here, so have the rainwater come all the way here and then have the 3-inch pipes by the fence instead. And the overflow will be on the inside so we can water the garden as well. Alright, so finally put these bars, crossbars over here across, so that gave the whole structure a lot more sturdiness, in addition to putting these two notched pieces. This is one, and then another one on this side. Where did it go? Right here. Same sort of idea. Gonna notch that basically the rain barrels will hold the structure of the wood. And so the next step will be to put a facade on it, and also to drill a hole through the fence and do the hookup. I've missed a lot of opportunity on collecting rain this season. There was so much rain, but on the other hand, this season we didn't need the rain barrels. So here's my rough in so far. I've got the mesh part is right there. I haven't cut the downspout yet, but I'm going to cut it a little bit below the joint, and that should go into that 3-inch top there, and that goes down to here, to the bottom here. I'm missing the cap for some reason, so I need to look for that. So I can't finish this without that, and I might as well not hook it up yet. But see, from the 3-inch, I'm going 2-inch across the pergola. Can't see it, but here it is. So the 2-inch comes over here. There's a joint, 90, and then down. And I'm missing a 90, so I'm just using this for now, and goes across into through the fence and into the totes. This higher piece here is for overflow, so if the totes get filled up, the water will flow up here and then get out. I was originally gonna do a 3-stage filter, but I'm gonna leave it at 1 for now. And so I might, on this side, I might just leave this and have a smaller filter on this side. So having this go down and have a cap at the bottom. Okay, so we here's what we got. I finally hooked up the downspout into the the ABS or PVC. I tied it at the top, just reusing the existing holes from the tie that was there for the downspout. So everything is tight. Going to the bottom here. The bottom's tied. The cap's there. I didn't remove the label, so it's not too static right now, but that's okay. That can be done later. So here we go. The 2-inch pipe goes across, and where are we here? So I tied the middle section here. Well, this is one 12-foot piece that goes all the way to here, and there's a joint right there. It ended there, so I put a small section there, and then a 90-degree, and the 90-degree goes to here, and then comes down. So it comes down from here all the way down. Tied it there. There's a T that goes across and down, and at the bottom this is a smaller cap. So sort of like a secondary filter. Let's see if it works after the next rainfall. So the idea is the first pass will collect the bigger pieces on the 3-inch cap, and then anything that comes here should be the finer pieces of dirt, stone, what have you, debris. And then of course it goes across. 2-inch goes across and into the fence, and then into the totes. And this higher section here is for the overflow. When the totes get filled up, it will come up and then comes back down to the to water the this part of the flower bed here. I'm trying to make it a little bit further away from the fence as much as possible. Might have to glue those pieces together, but let's see what happens. With the 3 tanks, it'll be a while before they fill up. Okay, it's been raining for about 2.5 hours. So I'm out here checking the pipes to make sure everything is still in place and that nothing's come off the joints. So on this side, everything looks good so far. Everything still looks good. Nothing's come off. This joint is still okay here. Nothing's glued together, so, and it was pretty heavy early on, the raining. Now it's a little bit lighter, but it seems like everything is still in one piece. So let's go to the other side and see how much we've collected so far. So after 2.5 hours of raining, we've got almost exactly half a tank. So the way I've hooked it up is the first tank will fill up before it will go to the second tank. And as expected, the second tank is empty, the third tank is empty, but the first tank is filled up by about half a tank. Ooh. Well, here is my cover, the front cover anyways, for the rain barrels. It's not quite finished, so I still have to do the side, which goes all the way down, and then have to think of a cover for the bottom. And something to cover the footings. But the one rain barrel, as you can see, is about 3/4 full. That's after about a couple of days rain. So it hasn't even reached the second barrel yet. But this cover is designed to be lifted up, so can be lifted up. I'm not going to lift up, but you can see from this side here, essentially it's just, you can see that it lifts up, it goes in like that. Okay, so there are notches for the cover, just in case I need to service the tanks for some whatever reason. I can disassemble this wooden cage, if you will, easily. So far, all the piping is still intact. Everything still looks good. So yes, we'll have to see what color we paint, or stain this thing, or maybe just leave it. We shall see. This is the other side, and again, this thing lifts up. It's a little bit harder here, a little bit harder on this side, but you get the idea. Okay, so I've done all sides of this rain barrel cover now. You can see it's all covered. It looks, in my opinion, better than just having the 3 tanks sitting there. And at the bottom, I have to think about a cover for that, maybe with a hinge that will open and close when not in use. It will open when we need to use it. Also put in some trims along the side, along the corners here, to make it look a little bit better. There's supposed to be some rain tomorrow, so hopefully we'll get this tank filled and then into the next tank and the next tank. This water I won't use right now. For the next few fill-ups, I'll be cleaning out the tank instead of using the water. So hopefully next year, the year after, we'll use it. I'm thinking whether I should stain this whole thing. I'll probably keep it more durable if I do, but that's a task for another day. Okay, so this first tank is finally filled to the brim, and what I notice is that it drips on the lid from the lid here. Let's see if you. Oh, there you go. There's a drip. There's a drip. So when I have a chance, I will have to put something on the inside, maybe an O-ring or something, to tighten this or make it more watertight. But as you can see on the second tank now has some water. Let's see. So this is after large rainfall for a short period of time today, for maybe half an hour rainfall, and so it's filled up the first tank, and now it's onto the second tank. So the next part of this project is to cover the footings to make them look a little bit better, what I ended up doing was to make this sort of well, first I cut the 2x4 into a thinner piece, and then using pocket screws underneath, you might be able to see, got 2 pocket screws here and 2 here, and then 2 here, 2 there. There should be 2 over there as well, to make this sort of square or top piece for the concrete blocks. Then on the bottom there'll be I'll put some 2x4s, couple, 2 or 3, maybe 2 in the middle, or 1, probably 2, 1 at each corner, 1 at each corner, and the middle one, and then at the corner the one there, 3. And then putting some fence boards like these on top and along the bottom, just to make it look nicer. And then the next step would be to make panels that can be removed for the bottom parts, for the openings here. So for the front panel of my the bottom of my rain barrel cover, I did panels. I'm doing panels like these, where I cut a 90 or a smaller piece, sort of a 90-degree angle here, to open up some space on 2 pieces of 2x4, and then I have this fence board that fits perfectly in there like that. I'm gonna nail along the bottom here to make the front like that, which will then fit onto the rain barrel. Okay, here are the covers for the bottom part of the rain barrels, or the rain barrel cover. Anyways, I put this middle piece here so that I can remove it. It's now just temporary. I'm gonna need to figure a way to make it more permanent, but removable. That's the key. Right, so I've just put the cover on the footings, and it looks like this. I think I'm pretty much done, except for maybe putting something on top, maybe wood or some white stones or something, just to make it look nice. Ended up putting these white marble stones on top of these boxes. The boxes are there, as you recall, to cover the cinder blocks underneath. So other than maybe laying some stones around the bottom, I think we're done.